So for the last few days, I've been listening to Bad Apple on YouTube, and I'm sure most people know about the song by now. It's got over like 100 million views if we take into account all the variations that exist. But as I was watching the video, I kind of started thinking to myself, you know what? I could probably do that, this sort of black and white shadow effect. And so I did. I sat down and made a quick little project of it, and it's a pretty simple and easy effect to recreate, which I'm going to demonstrate in Blender. So the primary things we're going to need is we're going to need a background and we're going to need some moving elements. We'll start with the background first, since it's just going to be a plane with a gradient texture with a color ramp on it. And with the color ramp node, we can control the transition between black and white by bringing the handles together or by setting the interpolation mode to constant. Then of course we need some things to move around in the scene, which for me was this base character and an apple. You know, for reasons. And I also went through and did the hard part of actually animating it, so all we have to do is worry about getting the effect done. First we're going to need the background and the moving parts in separate scenes, which I kind of messed up by making it all together, but I can easily fix that by creating a full scene copy and deleting the things I don't need and then renaming the scenes respectively for what they are supposed to be. BG for background and elements for, elements. Now that we have the elements separated, it's important for this effect to work that we change the shaders to flat emissions and set the backgrounds to either black or transparent. And for bonus points, we can turn on bloom and motion blur if we want some more dramatic effects. And now we're going to combine the elements and the background together, and to do this we're going to create a new scene in which we're going to call it Sequencer. We're going to create a new video editing workspace tab, and here we're going to go and add both the background scene and the element scene to the video sequencer down here. By default, the sequencer will render these scene strips by solid preview, so we can go over here to the video preview and under the view tab change these to material preview. Now, this might slow down your computer a lot since we're going to be rendering multiple scenes at once. Even for me, playback can slow down to 1 frame per second. If you're afraid that this will be too intense for your computer and cause it to crash, what you can do is you can render out each scene as individual image sequences and work with them that way. You can load them in just like you would a scene, and then you can work with them that way. The only downside is that if you make any changes, you'll have to re-render portions of your animation, but it's a small price to pay, really. Now, I'm going to select the element scene strip, and I'm going to go over here to the strips blending mode, and I'm going to change it from cross to exclusion. And this right here is the magic that's going to make this work. The exclusion blending mode provides us with the inversive effect that we're looking for, and really that's basically it. There are some neat tricks that we can do to make this more visually interesting. For instance, we can use other colors. However, if we're going to use other colors, what we have to take into consideration is that while it's on a white background, it's actually going to be inverted. So we'll just have to pass the color through an invert node before we pass it to the emission shader. And finally, if you want to invert the color of everything in the video, what you can do is load a color strip, make it white, and give it the exclusion blending mode, so that it inverts the color of everything below it. And there you have it, a versatile technique for simple shadow art. Hope you enjoyed the video, and with that, if you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, be sure to leave them for me to answer. And that's just about all I have to say, so see ya.